Hi, this is Rachel coming to you with this week's Sparkle of Shabbat. People ask me, how do I come up with what I'm going to speak about each week? And when I answer that question, I usually talk about what is resonating with me that week and what is in my heart and in my mind and in my soul. And so this week, it's going to be one more week talking about honey because I just can't stop thinking about the theme of the sweetness of the honey for the new year. So, as it turns out, honey is actually a preservative and it never goes bad. It might crystallize, but it actually will never expire, basically. Not that we should all go eating honey that's past its expiration date, but there is something that is a preservative in honey. It's the high sugar content, that intense sweetness of honey. So that got me thinking about the idea that we taste the honey on Rosh Hashanah and the everlasting sweet quality of it, and the fact that when we have expressions both in our words and in our hearts that have that everlasting sweetness of the honey, that they can be lifelong, and they can really last forever. And so it's not just the physical tasting of the honey, it's also, I think, the spiritual qualities that we're tasting something that can last forever, and that our words and our thoughts, if they're as sweet as that honey, that they can also have that indelible impact on those around us and on our relationship with Hashem. There is a beautiful prayer in the morning that asks Hashem to please sweeten the words of the Torah in our mouths and in the mouths of all the people of Israel. And I like to think that that might taste something like honey, and that the idea that those words might be sweetened would make them everlasting and indelible in our hearts and in our daily lives. My husband Seth always likes to taste honey on Shabbat, and he will dip his challah into honey. And I, for whatever reason, only taste it at Rosh Hashanah time. I don't think of putting it on the challah, even though he pulls it out. But what a lovely thing to make the honey more part of our daily and our weekly lives. I always taste it and think this is so delicious and I should eat it more often. But what a beautiful thing to make it part of our daily lives and our weekly lives during Shabbat. So my sparkle for this week would be, as we taste that honey for Rosh Hashanah, may it have an indelible impact on our thoughts, on our words with each other, and on our relationship with Hashem. Shabbat Shalom and Happy New Year.